Okay, guys, as you can see, I'm not with you today. Mrs. Ranko's back with you, and I know she did a great job of helping you guys yesterday look at equations of circles and finding the center and the radius. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump into a new shape called triangles, or we're going to look specifically at right triangles. More specifically, we're going to look at right triangles and finding missing sides. We're going to deal with circles tomorrow. Actually, part of your homework tonight is to find specific measures of a circle. But what I want to do is look at a right triangle. And when I talk about a right triangle, it usually has two pieces, two types of sides. It has two legs, and it has a hypotenuse. And you guys have seen the Pythagorean Theorem as a, b, and c. And you guys have seen a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, I'm going to talk about it in regards of leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. Okay? And we're going to focus more on that today, just finding a couple side lengths, or finding a missing side. So let's look at one here. In this case, it looks like I have two legs, and then this side is my hypotenuse. So I do not know what my hypotenuse is. So I know leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So I'm going to do 4 squared plus 8 squared equals x squared. So I got 16 plus 64 equals x squared. So I got 80 equals x squared. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And I'm just going to break down 80. I think that becomes 16 and 5, and that's 4 and 4. So I have two sets of 4. So that means I could take one out, and I have 4 square root of 5 is what x is. Okay, let's look at another example. In this case, I have a leg again, leg, and then in this case, my x value on my missing side is my hypotenuse. So leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. I'm going to do 6 squared plus 3 squared equals x squared. So I have 36 plus 9 equals x squared. So I got 45 equals x squared. And then we're just going to square root both sides. And then we're just going to break down 45. That's 9 times 5. 3 times 3 times 5. So I have a pair of 3's. I could take one out, and I got 3 square root of 5 is what x is. You guys are going to try 3 through 8 in a second, but let's look at question number 9. In this case, it looks like I have an hypotenuse, and I have a leg, and the missing side I have is a leg as well. Leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So I have 3.6 squared plus x squared equals 7.4 squared. So I'm going to do 3.6 squared, and that's 12.96 plus x squared equals 7.4 squared, which is 54.76. I'm going to subtract 12.96 from both sides. And I get 41.8. That's what x is. I'm going to square root both sides. And in this case, I'll just round it, and I get it to be 6.5 is that missing side. So let's look at number 10. Same basic idea. Looks like I have a leg. I have a hypotenuse. I'm trying to figure out what my leg is. So I'm going to do 3.9 squared plus x squared equals 11 squared. 3.9 is 15.21 plus x squared equals 121. So I'm going to take 121 and subtract 15.21 from both sides. So I have x squared equals 105.29. And then I'm just going to square root both sides. And I'm going to round it, and I'm going to get x to be 10.3. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to ask you guys to try questions 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, and 13, and 14. And I'll show you guys the answers to those on the next video.